Hey guys, welcome to the 160-second C# tutorial that I'm making for the new Boston. And in this tutorial, we're going to continue working on our Hangman project. And we're basically going to be handling when the user submits a letter. So let's just go ahead and double click on the Submit Letter button. So the first thing that we're going to want to do is get the character that the user submitted. So we're going to say character letter equals text box 1's text, which is this text box right here. So text box 1's text dot toCharacter array, since we're trying to get a character out of it. And since this returns a character array, we can just put brackets after it and put 0 in them. Since there's only going to be one element inside of this character array because the maximum length of this text box is 1. So it'll basically just get the character that the user submitted. Next, we're going to want to check to see if the user actually did submit a letter. Because if they didn't, we want to tell them that, no, you can't do that, you have to submit a letter. So we're going to say if character dot is letter, and this will just return a bool indicating whether the character actually is a letter. And then we're going to want to test this letter right up here, or the character that we got from the text box. And if it's not, so we're just going to put an exclamation point at the beginning of this. So if it's not a letter, then we're going to have a message box show saying you have to submit a letter. So we're going to say message box.show here. Oops. You can only submit letters. Then we're going to want to make the title of the that message box error. Then the buttons for the message box will be, message box buttons will be only OK, and we want OK. And then for the icon of the message box, we're going to make it an error because it's an error. And then we're just going to have it return so that it never will get to the code if the user actually did submit a letter. And let's just go ahead and test this out and make sure it works. Alright, so if we try to submit like anything that's not a letter, like a number, nope, you can only submit letters. And you can see we got that icon right there, and we have error at the top of the message box. Alright, so now we're going to want to check to see if the letter that the user submitted is actually in the word. So we're going to say if word.contains, and remember we created word up here so that we can use it in other spots, such as down here. So we're going to say if this word contains this letter right here, then we're going to have it do stuff. Alright, so if the word contains a letter, we're going to actually go through every word or every letter inside of the word, and if the letter inside of the word is the letter that the user submitted, then we're going to change the corresponding label's text to that letter. And you'll understand it more once we actually code it and type it out. Alright, so now we're going to want to create a character array of all the characters that are actually in that word. So we're going to say character array letters equals word.toCharacter array. Alright, so now we're going to want to go through each letter in the character array, or inside of this word, and we're just going to check to see if that character is the one that the user submitted. So int I equals 0, while I is less than the letter's length, letter's length, and we're just going to increment I by 1. Alright, so now we're going to check to see if that letter actually is the letter that the user submitted. So we're going to say if letters I equals letter, aka the letter that the user submitted, then we're going to change the corresponding label's text to that letter. So labels, which is our label list, I.text equals that letter's text. So letter.toString. Alright, so that's sort of confusing, but basically what we'll do right here is we're creating a character array of all the letters in the word that we generated. Then we're going to want to go through each and every letter inside of that word. And if that letter is equal to the letter that the user submitted, then we're going to want to go up to our label and change that label's text to whatever letter that the user submitted. Alright, so let's say the word that we generated randomly was apple. So apple right here. And then the user guesses P. Well, it's going to go through every letter inside of this word. So A, A is not P. P is PP? Yes, it is. So then we're going to change the corresponding label's text to P. So if there were four, well, I guess there'd be 5 labels, then we're going to want to change label 2's text to P, and then we're going to want to go on to the next letter. Is that one P? Yes, it is. So we're going to change label 3's text to P as well. And then as you can see, L is not P and E is not P either. So we're going to leave those the way they are. Alright, so now let's go ahead and test this out and see if it works. So let's just debug here. Yep, we got a nice long word, 13 letters long. We guessed A, let's see if it's in there. Yep, A is in there, so it changed the label's text to A. Is B in there? No, let's try S. Yep, S is in there. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this tutorial, so see you guys.